Ocean, 1502, where maps lied. Close your eyes. Now open them. It is 1502. You are not discovering the world. You are stepping into a world that never needed discovering. The Atlantic is behind you. Familiar waters, European winds, predictable routes. Ahead lies something else. The Indian Ocean. It does not roar like the Atlantic. It breathes, slow, heavy, ancient. And the first thing you notice is that you are not alone. The charts in your hand are clean, beautiful lines, carefully drawn coasts, measured distances, Latin annotations promising certainty. But certainty ends where this ocean begins, because these waters already belong to someone. Long before Portugal learned to round Africa, long before caravels pierced the horizon, long before Europe imagined a sea route to India. Arab merchants crossed these currents with confidence. Indian rulers taxed ports that glowed with wealth. Swahili city-states connected Africa to Asia in seamless rhythm. Trade moved here like blood through veins. Spices, silk, ivory, porcelain, gold. And it moved without you. That is what unsettles you most. You are not entering emptiness. You are interrupting something. 2 years ago, Vasco da Gama came here for the first time. He returned to Portugal with spices and glory. But that was only half the truth. Behind the celebration was something harder to admit. He had not been respected. Negotiations in Calicut were tense. Local rulers were cautious. Arab traders were hostile. The Portuguese were outsiders with cannons but no allies. Trade had not opened easily. It had resisted. Now, in 1502, this fleet sails differently, heavier, armed, intentional. You are no longer searching, you are asserting. The coastline of East Africa fades behind you. Mozambique, Mombasa, Malindi. Each port a lesson in fragile diplomacy. Each harbor a reminder that influence here must be negotiated. But negotiation is slow. Portugal is impatient. As you cross into the open stretch towards India, the sea changes. The monsoon winds carry you forward like invisible hands. You do not fully understand them. You depend on them anyway. And that dependence terrifies you. Because for all your cannons, for all your ambition, for all your royal backing, you are still guests of the wind. Days stretch into weeks. The crew grows quiet. This ocean does not behave like the Atlantic. Its swells are longer, its currents deeper, its rhythm unfamiliar. There are moments when it feels calm, too calm, as if it is studying you. Then one morning, sails appear on the horizon. Not European sails, dhows, lateen-rigged, graceful, confident. They do not flee, they observe. And in that moment, you understand something unsettling. They are not impressed. You are the anomaly here, not them. News travels faster than ships. By the time you approach Calicut again, they know you are coming. The harbor is alive. Ships from Arabia, from Gujarat, from Africa. Cargo being unloaded, languages blending, markets pulsing with movement. This is not a primitive shore. This is a global system, and you are the interruption. Vasco da Gama does not arrive as a merchant this time. He arrives as a statement. Cannons positioned, fleet organized, intention sharpened. Diplomacy is attempted,
briefly, but distrust runs deep. Arab traders warn the Zamorin of Calicut. They speak of European violence, of ambition masked as trade, of a kingdom desperate to control what it does not understand. Negotiations fracture, and then the first act of terror unfolds. A pilgrim ship is intercepted, hundreds aboard, men, women, children. The Portuguese demand submission, ransom, recognition of dominance. What follows stains the ocean. Fire, screams, smoke rising against a blue horizon. The message is unmistakable. Portugal will not compete in this ocean. It will dominate it. You watch the flames from your deck. Some cheer, some look away, some feel something shift inside them. Because this is no longer exploration, this is coercion. And yet, even as violence spreads fear, you feel it, the vulnerability. You are still outnumbered, still surrounded by ports that can close against you, still dependent on seasonal winds to return home. If the monsoon changes too early, you are trapped. If hostile fleets unite, you are overwhelmed. If supply lines fail, you disappear. The Indian Ocean is not conquered by a single battle. It is negotiated daily through survival. Calicut resists. Bombardments scar the coastline. Fortifications are tested. Trade is disrupted. But something unexpected happens. Other rulers watch. Coaching, Cannonor. They see opportunity. If Portugal weakens Calicut, they gain leverage. And so alliances begin. Fragile, strategic, mutually suspicious. This is how empire truly begins. Not with certainty, but with fractures. You realize something profound standing on that deck. The maps did not lie about land. They lied about complexity. They reduced this ocean to distance. But distance was never the obstacle. Power was. Networks were. Loyalties were. Memory was. The Indian Ocean remembers who belongs, and it tests who does not. Months pass. Skirmishes erupt. Ships are seized. Negotiations reopen. Threats repeat. Gradually, slowly, fear spreads. Not respect, fear. And fear changes trade routes. Merchants reroute. Some comply, some resist, some prepare retaliation. Portugal establishes a precedent. Control the sea, control the spice. It is a radical idea here, because for centuries, trade in this ocean flowed through balance, not monopoly. Now monopoly arrives wrapped in gunpowder. Yet even in dominance, you feel the fragility. At night, the sea is endless black. No landmarks, no guarantees, only stars. You realize how thin the line is between triumph and disappearance. If one storm destroys the fleet, history shifts. If one alliance collapses, the experiment fails. If one miscalculation traps you in hostile waters, Portugal becomes a cautionary tale. But the winds hold. The ships endure. Fortified positions begin forming along the coast. The idea spreads back to Lisbon. This is possible. Not easy, not clean, but possible. And that possibility changes Europe forever. Because once a sea route is proven controllable, ambition multiplies. Soon others will follow, not just traders, but soldiers, missionaries, empire builders. You stand at the edge of something irreversible, and the ocean feels different now. Not conquered, but altered. You arrived believing you were expanding the world. Instead, you have begun reshaping it. The Indian Ocean does not submit overnight. Resistance continues. Conflicts escalate in the years ahead. But 1502 marks the pivot. The moment when exploration crosses a line. When curiosity hardens into strategy. When trade becomes enforced. And maps begin to serve not discovery, but dominance. You look once more at the chart in your hands. The ink is steady, the coastlines precise, the distances accurate, yet none of it captures the smoke, the fear, the negotiations, the ambition, the cost. The map is calm, reality is not, and that is the greatest lie of all, because in 1502, on the waters of the Indian Ocean, the world did not become smaller, it became more dangerous, more connected, more contested, and far more violent. You came searching for spices, you left having altered global power, and the ocean, silent, endless, unmoved, continues breathing,